welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by our friends at Cure Auto Insurance. Ricky Pitalico, Ben Davis, I'm Michael Barkan. We go out to St. Louis in a moment. 6-3 Phillies. I don't think it's overstating it to say that this is one of the greatest come-from-behind postseason wins in Phillies history, given that 93-0 were the Cardinals in the postseason when leading by 2 runs or more. And the Phillies, after the 8th, Ricky Bo, this season, 3-60. They were dead in the water. This wasn't happening at all, and they pull it out and win it, they can advance tomorrow.
I'm going to tell you something. I've been a reliever in this league. When you go out there, you have that type of disaster for your ball club with the St. Louis Cardinals. Phillies win tomorrow. I'm telling you right now. I have a feeling that bullpen fell apart because they didn't like the pressure. You're talking about one of the best relief pitchers in baseball with Helsley. I mean, it's been known. He's pitched extremely well this season. Went out there, he couldn't find the plate. And it was the Bryce Harper at bat. Ben's going to tell you about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But what a ball game. I mean, can you ask for anything? Well, yeah, we could ask for a little something better. You didn't need to be down 2-0 late in the ball game. But that's a beautiful comeback. Beautiful win by the Phillies. Eflin kind of a little shaky there at the end, but got it done.
He's getting warmed up. Ben, irrelevant question, but I'm asking it anyway. Did the Phillies take this win from the Cardinals, or did the Cardinals give it to them?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think it was maybe a little bit more so the Cardinals giving it to them. But you talk about the at-bats. JT dunks one in their left center. And then the at-bats by Harper and Castellanos were awesome. They were flat out awesome. They got down early in the counts and somehow were able to eke a couple walks out of it. And then Bohm getting drilled. Take one for the team. That's what we got ice for, brother.
Casty almost lost an ear flap.
Lost it
twice.
And then, you got Gene with the big knock with 2 strikes. Putting a ball in play and somehow getting it by the second baseman, Edman. It was just all around. When you string those kind of at-bats together, nothing was hit hard, but they didn't strike out. They put balls in play. The last 2 regular season games, the Phillies had 31 strikeouts. 31 strikeouts. And today, they were just able to put balls in play, and good things happened.
And I don't know how you feel, but could you not cut the pressure cut the tension with a knife of what was going on with their bullpen? It's a beautiful thing when you're on the other side. Yeah, when you're on the other side of it, but you could almost see it coming. You could see that snowball effect coming with their bullpen, and then Palante comes in, and he didn't get any help defensively. You brought up the Edman play. He's got to at least knock that ball down at worst, and then Arenado. That's not a base hit. That should be
not a base hit. Same on the second base side.
Plus, Arenado's one of the better third basemen in the league. Don't care. Ball went through, run scored. I mean, that was ridiculous.
It was. Coming up, we've got Rob Thomson for you. We've got Zach Wheeler for you.
But they found a lot of pitches off, made him work. You see 96 pitches through 6 1/3.
Yeah.
What was it? The Corey Dickerson at bat.
Do you leave him in one? Do you leave him in one more batter or 2 more batters? He got the first out of the 7th, and then he's gone, and that's when the trouble started.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching in the 6th inning, and when you watched him, you almost felt like, wait a minute. He's starting to miss on the corners. That usually, in his last start, that meant that he was getting near he was done. So I thought he wasn't going to go back out there for the 7th. Then you think about it, well, it's Arenado, maybe 1 hitter and done. I know what you're thinking, but you brought Alvarado, who has been lights out lately, ends up walking. Who do you walk with 2 outs? Walk somebody, Carlson with 2 outs. That was the big play. Ben didn't like it because it's a 3-2 cutter. But then you give up a home run. I mean, stuff like that happens. That would have been a tough pill to swallow for Alvarado, I think. Now I think he could kind of just wash it off and move on because your team picked you up, came back, and won the ball game.
Mm-hmm. The other thing with regards to Wheeler is the fact that in his last outing, he threw 77 pitches. Okay, and today he's at 96. And obviously, in that last start against the Nats, it was just basically for him to get his pitch count up. Not a whole lot of pressure in facing that lineup. This was a whole different animal. Obviously, first game of the wild card playoff series. And there's a lot more. There's a little bit more heavy lifting. And to go that many more pitches, obviously above the 77, you know what? Maybe it was time to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Hindsight's always going to be 20/20, but it was the right move.
I'm almost thinking that it was a good thing that Yepez hit that home run in the 7th and not the 8th. The Phillies come up in the top of the 8th, and they were tight. They failed to score a run, but it wasn't, the top of the 7th. They failed to score a run, but they still had the 9th to go.
And they also had the middle of the lineup, their top guns coming up there in the 9th inning, and boy, did they get it done. That was just fun to watch. And again, because it was who they're facing in Helsley, I mean, this guy, you may say, well, I didn't see anything out of him today. If you hadn't seen him pitch all year, you might say that. But that guy is a stud, and there's no way they can probably use him tomorrow. So that's a good thing. They really burned through that bullpen today.
And again, it bears repeating during the St. Louis Cardinals postseason history, which includes 11 World Championships. They are 93-0 in the postseason after the 8th inning when they're up by 2 or more runs. 93-0. And the Phillies this season were 3-60 when trailing after the 8th inning. Doesn't matter. That's why they play them. Here's Alec Bohm, one of today's heroes, postgame.
Is that the happiest you've ever been to be hit by an 100-mile-per-hour?
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. That's the only time I'll be happy.
What was that? I mean, just kind of walk us through the inning. You guys had 2 hits going into the 9th. You're down 2-0, and then just chipped away.
Yeah, that's what we do. We fight. We're never out of it. We have a deep lineup, so no matter where we're at in the lineup, we feel like we got a chance to put at least something together, and you never know what can happen in this game.
How do you guys stay calm in a game like that where Zach Wheeler pitches the way he pitches, you get behind, and then you have to break out kind of at the very last minute there?
I mean, just experience, I guess, right? We've done it before. We've seen when, Wheels goes out there and does his thing, and, it's a slow game. Nobody's scoring, and then it all happens at the end. So we just kind of keep the faith, and there's always a chance.
Does seeing an outing like that from Wheeler kind of motivate you guys, like get you going?
It's just another start for him, right? That's what he does. He takes the ball and he pitches, and he's a bulldog for us, and we love him.
Not a lot of postseason experience. You're up and down this lineup, and of course with the pitching staff. What was the message going into this game?
Just play your game. In these games, right? People get down. One team's going to get down eventually, and it's just about not panicking and playing the same game and just not trying to do too much. It's easy to go up there and see you're down by 2, and everybody wants to hit a homer and be the hero, but we just pat the bat and keep it going.
What was the reaction? And I know what the reaction was, I guess, but Gene's pokes that ball just off the dirt, gets it through. What was that like?
That's Gene. He can hit anything. He's a hit machine, and nobody we'd rather have up at the plate.
Cool too, because he hadn't been the longest active streak without postseason.
That's it. Gene has played this game for a long time, and that's kind of a token to how special being able to play postseason baseball is. He hasn't even done it yet, so really happy for him.
And Thomson makes a great slide running in your place. That's a nice little.
Yeah, we're glad his hamstring's better now.
Does this game feel like the way the whole season's gone? Will you guys just scrap and fight back?
Yeah, no doubt. That's just kind of who we are. It's what we're built on. It's the city. It's Philadelphia. It's it's our team. We're not going to quit.
How are you feeling with Noah going tomorrow night?
Feeling good. Feeling good.
So what's it feel like to get hit in a big moment? Like, do you you feel the ball and then you immediately
Yeah, no, we got to run. And we scored, so happy.
Pretty easy to shake it off, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just you don't feel much in those moments.
Definition of taking one for the team. Real quick, how nice is it just to get this first one under your belt?
Yeah.
You guys have set the tone.
Right. You're looking out there, and you're going into that 9th inning. They got their guy on the mound. Nobody's probably thinking we're going to do anything, but we're feeling good. Yeah.
Got to run. Scored. Feeling happy.
Runs.
No big deal. No big whoop. I would have been patching up the hole that was in my arm. He just shrugged it right off, goes to first base. Phillies get the run on the board and go on to win it 6-3. Incredible.
Whatever.
Still unbelievable.
You think about that whole inning. So many little things happened in that half inning for the Phillies to score 6 times, and everything went their way. And that's sometimes, basically, he's saying, well, we tried to put the ball in play. And then you would say, oh, I'm going to throw another one, but this one I'm going to throw over the plate.
Yeah.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
Silly pitchers.
So they're
They're idiots. They're just idiots.
Well, some of them are. Present company excluded, of course. But when you're looking at what it was.
I wasn't that smart.
I was trying to help you out. But when you.
I don't need to. I don't care what you call me.
When you look at. Yes, you do. When you look at the way they scored those runs.
Yeah, and nothing was hit hard, Michael.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Starting with real
They
Muto.
said the hardest ball hit all inning was the sac fly by Kyle Schwarber. but everything else was in the high 70s, high 80s exit velocity that are not considered quote-unquote hard hit baseballs.
I hate that they only had, they had 2 hits.
Bohm's.
Well, if you want to count.
The real ones. The real hits.
The little bouncer
not the
to
one
third base that should have been an error. But none of them. I mean, it's a bouncer to third. It's a dribbler near second base. It's just in the right place at the right time.
That's good pieces of hitting, as you guys would say.
Yeah, but you know what?
Jeans
it beats the heck out of going back to the dugout, making a left turn back to the third base dugout.
We saw a lot of that over the weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also beats the heck of being 0-1 down.
This is a huge win, especially in a series that's this short, a 3-game series. This is a huge win for them, and to be gift-wrapped one like that, and also just have the willingness to go ahead and take it. If you're going to give it to me, by God, I'm going to take it, and they took it today.
Phillies are going to be 2 up tomorrow.
Rhys Hoskins struck out twice in the inning, and the second time he was ticked. You could see that, but here he is post-game.
There's just a ton of belief in the dugout. We've done it all year. It's not anything new to us. We just have to continue to believe. That's what we did today.
What was that feeling in the dugout there in the 9th inning?
It was tense. It was tense. Obviously, we were focused, but we never thought we were out of it. I think you could see by the at-bats, right? I think I heard Nick say earlier that he had just the pass the baton mentality. Didn't necessarily have to come from a hit. We had a couple walks, a couple guys just putting the ball in play when they can, and good things happened.
How do you think the way the season has played out, the way so many games this season, the way they've played out, how that kind of prepared you guys for the way this one went today with Wheeler pitching the way he did, getting behind, and then breaking out very late?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I think especially with the division that we play in, we're used to facing this type of pitching, right? The pitching that you see in the playoffs with every team in our division. So we knew that we were going to face good pitching today with these guys. We obviously got their best guys out of the pen late. But I think because we had done it before in our tough division, we felt like, hey, if we can continue just to get to the box, we have a chance.
First postseason game out of the way, and it's a win. How does that feel for you and so many guys who are kind of getting your first taste here?
Yeah, it's the best. I'm obviously incredibly happy for Gene. It's his first in many, many years, and to be able to get a big hit in the 9th. It's a good start. Got to finish tomorrow.
To start with Zach Wheeler today and then get Aaron Nola tomorrow, you kind of couldn't dream up a better pitching rotation to get this one going for you guys. What do you think you guys need to do to put Nola in a position to succeed tomorrow?
I mean, obviously runs. I think, if we can take anything from his last start, it feels like he's pretty locked in. So we'll try to strike first and strike early, but we'll continue to feed off of him as well because he's been pretty locked in.
How do you think the trajectory of this game changed after that inning, the 9th inning?
I mean, I think you could hear it, right? It was pretty quiet in the stadium after the 9th or as it was going on. It's just it's just a belief. And I think, especially once we got a guy on, you can kind of feel it rumbling a little bit. You continue to believe, and good things happen.
It's the way it's been all year.
Exactly.
Rhys Hoskins tells Taryn Hatcher it's just a belief. We believe that we can do it, and that's what we were thinking just sitting here. There's a vibe that goes right through the TV from Busch Stadium right here to Philadelphia. You know what? We just feel it that they're going to do it. The one thing Taryn also asked was about Aaron Nola. What do you need to do? Obviously runs. We can take anything from the last start. He's pretty locked in. Strike first and strike early.
Yeah.
Something they failed to do today. But there is just a mantra among this team. We are always in a game.
Yeah, well, they should feel that way. And I think that really stemmed from Milwaukee earlier on in the season. If you remember Josh Hader when he was nasty, what was it, Bohm and Veerling went in there and took care of that. And look at where Hader's been as of late. Not very good. So I just look at this, and after you beat one of the best in baseball, I think that could carry on for a long period of time. I just feel like, if you're within 3 runs, I think the Phillies are within striking distance.
Yeah, and it's not just lip service with this ball club. They truly believe in themselves and in each other. And the other thing that I really liked about today is the fact that they won a ball game without hitting a home run. And that's pretty much been the knock on them throughout the course of the season. If they don't hit homers, they don't win ball games. But they did not do that today. They just did what they needed to win a ball game.
Yeah, I didn't see this team In 1915, when they went to the series, I know you're surprised. I didn't see him in 1950 either. But when you look, I was on vacation those days. I wasn't born yet. But when you look at this team and what they're able to do, and this come from behind victory. You and I sat together right over there in this studio in the NLCS in 2009 with the Jimmy double. Ryan Howard saying, "Jump on my back, boys." The Matt Stairs home run. This is as big as all that. I mean, it wasn't the same round, but pretty big. They were dead in the water. 2-0 down going into the 9th inning.
I think it is that big because of the 3-game series. If it was a 5-game series, it'd be different. But you got to win 2 out of 3 here from Jump Street, and they were able to get that first one today at Busch Stadium. Obviously not in front of the home crowd. That's a big W. It's a huge W.
All right, let's hear from Rob Thomson, currently the interim manager of this Phillies team.
Big picture, do you feel like you came in here and stole one?
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought we played well. We just didn't hit early, and then, in the 9th inning, we got a rally going. These guys are so resilient. I've been saying that all year long, but you get a kind of a bloop hit and a couple walks, hit by pitch, scratch hit, and all of a sudden, all these good things are happening. So they just hung in there. Wheels did a great job. It was good to see D-Rob have a clean inning. That was really good. We just, I thought we played great defense. It was a great ball game, and we just kept fighting.
What was it like in the dugout in that 9th inning? As the Helsley's losing the strike zone. You guys are
electric. Those guys are right into it. Yeah, it was great.
And was Bohm all right? That was 101 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's fine. Adrenaline will take over that.
Did you? I mean, you got to be glad he didn't jump out of the way. I mean, he took it like a man.
Yeah.
It's hard to jump out of the way on that pitch.
Yeah, that's right.
And what did you think of Wheels?
I thought he was great. Velocity was up. He felt fine the entire time. I thought his slider was good. He threw a couple of good hooks. I thought he was really, really good. He was getting towards the end of his pitch count, and we were coming into a stretch of lefties. That's why I went to Alvarado, and Alvy gives up a first home run he's given up in 3 months or something. So that's the way it is. But we fought back.
In that 6th inning, I mean, it was still Wheeler's game, or if you had Sir Anthony on top of his game, would you go into that pocket of right-handed hitters?
No, that was Wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Wheels.
Play.
Yeah.
Okay, still Wheels.
Yeah, that was Wheels.
Scott? Kind of quintessential Segura there, too, like puts the bat on the ball on a tough pitch to hit and kind of punches it the other way.
Yeah, I mean, we put the ball in play with 2 strikes in the 9th inning, and that's what you got to do. And they played the infield in to try and cut down the run at the plate, or possibly double play if the ball's hit firm. But the ball, luckily, just got by the second baseman, and we scored a couple runs there. But great at bat, just put the ball in play with 2 strikes, just keep fighting.
We've talked about how long he's waited for this. What's he been like to be around the last few days? Just given that it's been so long and he hasn't been to the postseason, has he been, any different? Or I mean, what's it been like being around him?
Very happy, but usually is. But I think he's pretty much the same. But he's really happy, and he's really feels fortunate to be here and wants to do well. So, but for the most part, pretty much the same.
Rob Thomson on Gene Segura feels very, very happy. Pretty much the same, but pretty happy. I'd say you have a 9th inning like they had, you got to be pretty happy. He also poo-pooed the notion that the Phillies stole one, which I guess you would expect a manager to do. He said I love that. We played good. We just didn't get any hits till the end. But we showed, as he was talking, all the O's.
Have a ton of hits.
They didn't have a ton of hits. That's what I was going to say. All the zeros, Harper and Schwarber, they didn't get hits.
I love the fact that he almost cracked a smile. He was really, really close. He just doesn't. He just plays his cards so close to his vest. But you could see that he was beaming for his guys because his guys pulled one out for him today. And, you know, again, but it's the same Rob Thomson that we've been accustomed to seeing. Never too high, never too low.
All right, here's the Phillies bullpen, and when you see these numbers and their performances, Alvarado, 2/3 of an inning coming in for Zach Wheeler, gives up 2 earned runs, and we thought that would be end of game. David Robertson gets the win pretty good with an inning and no earned runs, no hits. And then Eflin, what would you say about the bullpen overall?
A little shaky. A little shaky. I thought Alvarado was not himself. I mean, a lot of cutters he threw today. And he wasn't throwing it as hard. He was usually 95 with that cutter, maybe 96 with that cutter, and then 100, 101 with the fastball. I was seeing 92 with the cutter. That would tell me that he was a little tentative throwing his pitches today. Just go out there, let it go, man, let it go.
I was nice to see Robertson, though. We heard Rob Thomson talk about him. He does have that playoff pedigree, so it came out today. He was dealing.
Gene Segura is the active player with the most regular season games played without a postseason appearance until today. 1,328. Gets in there, the game-winning RBIs. Here he is in the clubhouse postgame.
Can you, it was 2-2 slider. Can you take us through that at bat? And I mean, you got to put it in play there. What's your mindset?
I mean, absolutely. It was bases loaded. The infield was halfway through. The shadow, it was really tough to pick up the spin on the ball. I just really trying to put the ball in play and play the game.
What does it kind of mean to you personally to come out of here with a victory and have such a big role in it when this is your first postseason game after 10 years in the big leagues?
I mean, it's been a lot, but we still a long way to go. The job is not finished, so we win today, come back tomorrow, and keep playing baseball.